Welcome. Our first official flipped lesson is from the Sentence Structure series. Lesson 1 is on subjects and predicates. I'm hoping that this information is a review for most of you, but I want to make sure that we are actually reviewing and using a common vocabulary. So please don't forget the following things that we've talked about in class. Fitch. Look back at your sample video SSS notes and sample WSQ notebook entry to remind yourself of these 5 very important. Have your student success sheet for this lesson out in front of you. It should be labeled with the title of the video. The questions are presented in order, so fill in the blanks with the information provided. Or you can be ready to recreate it or to take notes in your WSQ notebook. Therefore, you need to have your WSQ notebook handy. Remember to complete a summary of the video in your own words at the end of the video, and this summary should be at least 5 to 7 sentences in length and contain the vocabulary used to describe the concept. At the bottom of your summary, remember to ask a question, and you can use your hot question starters on page 2 to help you. And then, of course, remember that you can learn at your own pace. So pause, rewind, fast forward, stop, go back as many times as you need in order to get the concept. In the beginning, I'll take the time in these videos to remind you how to set up your notebook. As the course continues and you get used to this format, I'll skip this part. If you're choosing to use the SSS provided, this is what it looks like. And again, they're in the right order. Make sure that you have the correct one. The title should be right at the top. Again, you can always recreate this in your notebook page or take notes on your own as well. We're going to start with the Mla header. So you want to start on the next clean page of your notebook. We are on page 6. And the Mla header starts with your name. Okay. Then my name, the class name, and mod, and then the date in European format. So the day, the month written out, and then the year, 2012. The last part is to put the title of the video somewhere at the top of your paper. So this is subjects and predicates. You can write it beside your Mla header up here. You can write it below like I just said. And now you're ready to either take notes from the video or to write your summary at the end. So the traditional definition of a subject, and one you probably learned in elementary school, is the person, place, thing, or idea about which something is said. The complete subject is all of the words in that subject part of the sentence. So those could include modifiers or determiners, other things that we've been talking about. Again, remember you can pause the video to jot down these definitions. I'm going to continue on. The definition of a predicate tells something or asks something about the subject of the sentence. The complete predicate are all the words that express an idea about the subject. So let's look at 2 examples and see if we can find the subject and the predicate in these examples. If you are taking notes right into your notebook, you may want to jot down these sentences and follow along as I label them. So the first step is to find the subject. You want to ask yourself, who or what is the sentence about? So in this first example, the main subject is Rocky Mountains. We're going to label that subject. Now let's find the main or simple predicate. Another name for the simple predicate is the verb. It's the action of the sentence. So what is the subject doing in this sentence? The Rocky Mountains are doing what? They're rising, or they rose. So this is the predicate or the verb. If we put a line before the predicate, or the simple predicate, which is also the verb, we have essentially separated the complete subject from the complete predicate. Notice the words before the line all modify or describe the simple subject of Rocky Mountains. So we've been talking about adjectives This is an adjective describing Rocky Mountains. So this whole phrase is the complete subject. The words after the line help modify or add to the verb. So in this case, again, we've been talking about this. This is an adverb telling where, right? Where did they rise? In the distance. So this whole part after the verb, or after the predicate, is the complete predicate. If you'd like to, pause the video at this point and complete the second example on your own. I'm going to continue on and label it for you, but I would suggest that you do pause it and try it on your own first. So the first thing we're going to do is find the simple subject. What is the sentence about? In this case, it's about a dromedary. That's our subject. What is the dromedary doing? It's running. So this is our verb or our predicate. Okay, I'm going to draw a line before the predicate, right before that verb, and then I have separated out the beginning, the complete subject over here, and the complete predicate over here. So this whole phrase is just renaming or modifying the dromedary. It's giving you more information. Again, this is acting as an adverb that is describing or modifying that predicate. So hopefully you did well with that. The next step is to try to create sentences on our own. So the directions here are on the following picture. Record 5 possible sentence subjects on your student success sheet or in a bulleted list on your notebook. Then record 5 possible predicates or actions or verbs on your student success sheet or again in your notebook. Also, remember to pause the video to complete the assignment. So I'm going to continue on, but here's the picture. If you want to, you can pause right now so you have time to look at the picture. I did take this picture at an Orioles game not too long ago. So I'm going to start labeling this picture with some of the subjects that you could have picked. Again, please pause and do this on your own first. So we have players, or specifically baseball players. We have fans, and you can be specific with that. The fan in the white shirt, the little girl clapping, the fan standing. You can do the coach or the manager. In this case, it's Buck Showalter right there. You could have as a subject the wall. You could have down here the batter's box. Okay, you could have the fence. Here's the ball boy. Okay, tons of different options. You were just to pick 5, and there's plenty there to choose from. Then you want to look for predicates or verbs. I'm just going to change the color here. Okay, so verbs could be high-fiving, right? The fans are cheering. They're also standing. Okay, the players are smiling. Okay, batter's box or the bats even are laying down. Okay, the fence could be protecting. Lots of different options there. Now create 2 original sentences about the picture by using the subjects and predicates from your list. So match them up. We will use these for a partner activity in class tomorrow. And again, please pause the video in order to make your sentences. Now let's put this knowledge to the test. I'm going to go through 2 guided practice examples for you. If you want to challenge yourself, pause the video now, try them on your own, and then check your answers as I walk through them. Or you can label the sentences as I explain each one. So here we have the first guided question or guided practice sentence. The crowd swayed with the rhythm of the cheerleaders' chants. So just like the examples before, I'm going to try to find and separate the subject from the verb or the predicate. So sometimes it's easier to find the subject first, the crowd, that's what the sentence is about, and then decide what did the crowd do? What is it doing? It swayed. So this is our verb or our predicate. Once again, I'm going to draw a line between the beginning and the end of the sentence, right between or right before that verb. Now remember, or if you notice, this subject is really short. It's just the simple subject. And the verb predicate is really, really long. And that can be true of any sentence, or it could be the reverse. So in this case, the predicate is longer. Here you have the second example. After the fire in the oven, my family installed smoke detectors in our house. I'm going to search for the subject and the predicate, or the subject and the verb of the sentence. So in this case, my family is the subject. That is who is doing the action of installing. So here is the verb or the predicate. Again, I'm just going to draw a line before that predicate to separate it. This beginning phrase here, after the fire in the oven, it doesn't matter for labeling our subject and predicate. It's actually an adverb that tells when, right? So it's adding to or describing the verb of the sentence. Okay, it's pointing back to the predicate. So it's not important for labeling our sentence. At this point, the lesson is over. This is the end of the lesson. So you can, of course, have some individual practice sentences to label, just like we did with the guided practice. So you want to complete those individual practices. I will check those tomorrow in class, and you will also use them for an assignment. You may need to pause the video to write these down if you aren't using the SSS I provided, or you can look up that SSS and just copy them right into your notebook. Remember, when you finish, you also need to complete the summary and question in your WSQ notebook. So look at the sample WSQ for formatting. Remember, the summary is nice and short and sweet to the point, and you just want to go over the main facts. You will also be required tomorrow or Monday in class to look at the to show your understanding of this lesson when you first come into class as part of the warm-up. Your mastery of the concept will place you in a group for the rest of class or for the rest of our review of this topic. Again, feel free, rewind, go back, pause if you need any more information about this topic. I'm going to pull the individual practices over for those of you that are creating this in your own notebook, and again, you can pause this video in order to jot these down. See you on Monday.